Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we're going to do a car review recap of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. This video is meant to share my thoughts on the movie, even though it's been out in theaters for a while. You can still catch it in theaters though. And yeah, this is just because I missed the initial release of Star Wars, but I still want to do a review on it. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so we're going to do spoilers, by the way. So Star Wars. Everyone's seen it already. I get that. We've all read reviews. We've all watched reviews. I've done it. But I really want to make this video. I want to make this review, this car review, to share my thoughts on the movie because I love Star Wars. And I mean, I'm really passionate about this stuff. So much so that hopefully one day I want to get a Star Wars tattoo. Nothing fancy, nothing big. I feel it has left such a mark on me as a person that it deserves a literal mark on my body. That's kind of a weird pun, but whatever. But episode 9, Star Wars, it is episode 9, in the Skywalker saga, in this order of films we've been following since the 70s up until right now. And that's huge, and this is a huge movie, both financially, critically, production-wise, you name it. And I like the movie. I really do. I've seen it twice now at the time of this recording. And it's good. And it does hit a lot of nails on the head for Star Wars fans. And we've all heard that. And it's true. It's a true sentiment that this movie runs on nostalgia. That's not a bad thing. However, one of the biggest things that I still have an issue with to this movie, and I think this is something that I will carry with me as a Star Wars fan for years in this movie, is that, to me, it does not feel like a proper wrap-up to the Skywalker saga. It does not feel like a proper episode 9. It feels like a proper episode 3 to this new sequel trilogy spearheaded by Disney. And I like those movies a lot. Force Awakens, awesome. I love that movie. The Last Jedi, it's grown on me over the years. I can't say I love it like the rest, but I think it's good. In fact, I'll say that I like it now. It's grown on me. It took a while, but it grew on me. This one, though, it will grow on me. It already has. But, I mean, in terms of overall cohesiveness, it kind of drops the ball a few times. You look at Rey being a Palpatine. Again, as I said, spoilers. You look at Rey being a Palpatine. I think that's awesome. When that happened in the theater, first time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, how could I not have guessed that? How could I not have seen that coming? Like, what a curveball. J.J. Abrams, he loves his curveballs. But, with that happening, with Palpatine coming back, I mean, that wasn't hinted at in 7 or 8. It all happened in 9. You had one movie to introduce new stuff, tie up old stuff, answer questions, and then wrap up 9 films worth, decades worth of storytelling. That's a tall order. You can't do that in one movie. I didn't expect it to happen. And, I mean, am I disappointed by the movie? A little bit. But, it's hard to say. But the point I'm trying to make about the Palpatine thing is that we've heard for years that Disney had a plan. They were going to do 3 movies, 3 different directors. J.J. Abrams wrote this massive treatment for 7, 8, and 9. 7 he wrote completely. 8 he had ideas. 9 he had ideas. And he put it in a nice little box and gave it to Disney and said, have at it. Fast forward after Force Awakens. We get to 8. We know how that goes down. Rian Johnson comes in, does his own thing. Okay, that's cool. But there was little to no connection to 7. Okay, now you get to 9, and 8 is just this absent thing that's supposed to be this middle section of a new trilogy and, connect the end. 7 and 9 feel very similar. 8 does not. That's not a knock on Rian Johnson. That's a knock on Disney, the producers, the production behind these movies. And I'm not trying to examine all 3 movies in review for episode 9, but you have to talk about the overarching picture with something as big as episode 9. If, say, in 7 or 8, there were mentions, whispers, I'm talking literal whispers of Palpatine, what if? Maybe he already has, or they're looking for him. You know, that would give a lot more credence to 9. That pick up a storyline that we thought had concluded in 6, but there's still remnants peeking out in 7 and 8. Nowhere, though, to my knowledge, is Palpatine, Darth Sidious, the Emperor, ever mentioned. Well, he is mentioned in 8 one time by Luke, but not in a present context. He's mentioned in a passing context. But there's never any mention of we heard this or we heard that. It's just, it all pops up. It's all just there. And they never explain how Palpatine's still alive. I mean, at the end of 6, we see Vader throw him down the chute of the Death Star, and we all thought got evaporated by those energy, beams and particulates and all that stuff. And whether or not he was cloned, and this is just his essence in a body, or he literally lived, or whatever, they don't explain that. And of course it's going to come out in a book or a video game, even a TV show, whatever. But for the movies, there shouldn't have to be this necessary watching to understand the movies. Okay, in 4, 5, and 6, you have these time jumps. That's fun. That's cool. It's probably even needed. But to my knowledge, because obviously I wasn't alive during those time periods, you never had to read a book to understand 5 or 6 after 4. It's not like episode 4 came out, a book came out saying this needs to be read to understand 5. Okay, now this book needs to be read to understand 6. It was always after the fact. After the movie came out, here's a book that hints at this. Here's a game that hints at that. A comic, whatever. Whereas 9, there's so much missing that will obviously be expanded on in books. However, as opposed to the original trilogy and even the prequel trilogy, whereas it was avenues to explore after the fact, you leave the movie theater from episode 9 feeling like you missed something, that there was something you should have read, that you didn't do your research. And movies should never feel like homework, unless you're doing a marathon, then it's fun homework. But, even the start of the movie, a Sith Wayfinder. What the heck is a Wayfinder? And I'm someone who loves Star Wars. I want to get a Star Wars tattoo on my body. I don't know what a Wayfinder is. And maybe it is mentioned in a book somewhere. I don't know. But I shouldn't have to go read a book to understand a movie. And all that stuff. And that's what it felt like. It felt like they left too much up in the air, too much, suspense and mystery to the point where they're just trying to fuel this franchise past 9, which I don't blame them for doing. They just did it a lot, But in actual terms of the movie itself, yeah, I enjoyed it. Is it in my top 3 Star Wars? No, that belongs to the original trilogy. My top 5? No. But it's good. I mean, it does its job well. It is a Star Wars movie. All Star Wars is good Star Wars. It's just with this one, they had a large order. They had a huge plate. And God bless them to the people who took on this job, this task, knowing you cannot please everyone, knowing that people like myself will leave satisfied yet disappointed in some areas. This was a huge undertaking, and it just goes to show that there was a lack of planning. But it's it's fine. I mean, all Star Wars is good Star Wars, like I said, but I just, in terms of arcing storytelling, this should have been handled a little better. They should have stuck to the landing a little more smoothly. It lands. It does. But when it touches down, the landing gear break and they skid on the runway for a bit. Not a crash. It's there. It's a little rough though. But overall, I think it's good. I'm going to probably try to see it at least one more time because, Star Wars is amazing. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I wanted more. Literally, I wanted more from it. It should have been an hour longer. I think that would have been great. But you know, with these characters being Rey, Poe, Finn, BB-8, like, I don't think they're done. I don't want them to be done. I left 9 thinking, where's the next one? Not where's episode 10, but where's the next Rey adventure? Where's the next BB-8 adventure? Where's the next Poe adventure? You know, I want more to do with these characters because they came and they went very quickly. 2015, we get them. In 19, they're gone. You know, now we're in 2020. You know, and it's crazy to think that we might not see them again. I highly doubt that because Disney probably has them locked down for life. But whatever. You know, they're all great actors. They all do great work. I'm just saying they've set up so much that to not explore that in a medium outside of books and video games, I think would be a huge loss to them. I think they should do a TV show or a movie or whatever, and hopefully they will. I really believe that. I really think that at the end of the day, if we don't see an episode 10, which honestly I wouldn't be shocked if we get an episode 10. I'm gonna say 15 years down the line. I wouldn't be shocked. Not a trilogy. Not 10, 11, 12. I'm literally one more go at it 15 years down the line. I wouldn't be shocked at that. But between those 15 years, from now till 2035, which is crazy to think about, I want these characters to continue onward. So I hope that Disney recognizes what they have. That episode 9 laid down a lot of groundwork. In a way, it concluded things that also laid down more groundwork to be picked up upon. There's a lot there to explore. And episode 9 does a good job of that. Just overall, it could have been longer, should have been longer. I've even heard it could have been 2 movies. You know, and we kind of always hear that with huge productions, like, oh, well, you know, what if? You know, I would have been fine with that. I would have dug it. But, you know, it's at the end of the day, we have what we have. And I'm not trying to knock this movie. I mean, I know I am a little bit, but I did like it. It's Star Wars. You know, it was amazing. X-Wing taking down TIE fighters. You know, lightsaber battles. You know, lightsaber battles on the Death Star too. Like, come on, man. Like, that's cool stuff. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Almost too much. Because again, they leave so much up in the air. But you know, that is Star Wars. It's a vast galaxy told with many different characters and many different species. It's just overall though, I think it could have been handled better, you know. But I just hope that people leave the theater wanting more. You know, I hope people leave the theater happy that they maybe they want to go back again, or they want to rewatch this new trilogy, or they look at the prequel trilogy in a different light. That would have been really awesome. Or that would be really awesome. What would have been really awesome, I'm going to comment on this real quick before I close, because I know I'm getting to a close here. J.J. Abrams said that this is going to tie together the 3 trilogies. Prequel, original, sequel. I didn't see many prequel ties there. Force Ghosts would have been awesome. Mentions of Fallen Jedi would have been awesome. I know we got their voices and all that stuff. That's cool, but I wanted more. Again, this movie left me wanting more. Gosh, they should have done more, though, with the prequel trilogy. Mention a name. You know, give me some clones. Whatever. I don't know. Not clone troopers. Just you know what I mean. Just something there. It really felt like they're really focusing on the original and the sequel. The prequels are there too. Prequels laid the groundwork for you to do this stuff. So they gotta pay homage to that. Again, I think that's all coming down the tube at some point, whether that be a Disney Plus show or a movie or whatever. I wanted more, but I'm not trying to backpedal because I know I was getting kind of to a concluding comment there. So yeah, that is my review, I guess, of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It was more kind of my thoughts on Star Wars as a whole, but overall, I thought the movie was good. I think JJ did do a good job, in which, you know, that's a very hard thing to ask of anybody to give them, you know, decades of material and say, you know, bring this to an end. I wouldn't know where to start. So give credit where credit is due. The Rise of Skywalker is a good movie. It is a good Star Wars movie, and that's all that matters. So, if you like this video, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.